PR can be extremely simple. You don't believe me? This episode is for you. Bonjour. Hello, everyone. I'm Nata, host of the NATA PR School podcast. You're a successful entrepreneur or marketing manager, and you're about to launch a new product or service, or you've been selling your goods for quite some time, but you want to learn how to increase your visibility, get known, and reach more clients? At NATA PR, we deal with real clients every day, and we'll teach you simple, fun, and honest PR solutions. You'll learn easy steps to combine PR to social media right now. Keep listening and let's get started. Bonjour, hello, and welcome to episode 139 of the NATA PR School podcast. Welcome, my friends. Yes, I can't believe it's the 139th episode already. Crazy. So we talk about how public relations can be extremely simple. So simplified, easy, and effective PR is what I'm teaching at the NATA PR School. And of course, what I'm doing with my young employees, those who just graduated, those who don't have any experience. This is what I teach them. And before I dive in and explain how simple and how we teach it to our own employees, just to show you how you can do it on your own, let me just go back and refresh our memories that the pandemic is not so long ago. And we sometimes forget, because if you are like me, you are in the middle of your race, you manage a company and you want to grow your business, so you're busy, your mind is busy moving forward. But let's go back a little bit and don't forget that companies around the world have been facing the same challenges we are, which are hiring challenges, finding good employees or the employees that you need. We're not alone. And sometimes we think it's a challenge that we face and it's becoming something crazy. Well, let's keep in mind that we're not alone. It's the same thing everywhere. This is what I keep repeating my employees. Hang on, my friends. If you find it crazy here with all the movements, it's not going to be different in any other companies at this point, maybe in a few years. But keep in mind that everywhere in the world, all kinds of business sector, they all made massive layoffs. All of them. So no surprise that it's so difficult to hire back people, right? So it's time to quit complaining, my friends. If we decide to keep doing this game, I like to call my what I'm doing at my work with the agency and growing the business. And I'm the founding president, but I'm also the CEO of NATA PR. And I love to say that this is, we call it the Natapoly game, not the Monopoly, but the Natapoly game. So I decided to keep playing it and stop complaining. And I decided to be among those bosses, those employers who has figured out that you have to be in permanent and constant hiring mode, and that recruiting young talent can be just amazing. So if you change your belief about, if I think of myself a few years back, hiring people, finding people was not something I really like doing. And I decided, I have to change my beliefs about that, because obviously something's not working as it should. So I really did work a lot on my beliefs, and I decided to see it as a game. And as I love to learn, decided to put in my brain and tell myself that I can certainly learn to be better than I am now, because I was not that good. I was not really good at all, honestly. So now, I'm becoming better and better every 6 months, I should say. So this is how because we tried so many things, working with headhunters, we tried it all, just like you probably. And I finally decided to hire young graduates and see if we could train them and train them to be very performant and generate results very quickly. And this is what we're doing. I train those young employees, young talents. And yes, I hear you. You're telling me, what? You're training your employees who might, just quit after 6 months? And my answer is yes. You know why? Because you train them or not, many of them will leave after maybe 6 months or a year. They will, no matter what. But, training them and really doing this consistently and improving our recruiting modes, we're getting so good at, of course, some still come with us and decide to leave for other reasons sometimes because if it's their first professional job, sometimes they think that it's greener on the other side. That's something. Or they go work for a major international company. I'm not that yet, so it's one of my goals, one of my dreams, but I'm not there yet. Or they decide to go study for 6 months in Germany or something like that. So because everything is now open and they can travel, especially those young talent that were stuck during the pandemic, didn't have the chance to go and live their dreams, right? But know that many of them do stay with us, which is great. More and more stay with us, really. And it's really close to 70% of our young employees that stay with us. I'm quite happy about that. So we try to raise this, of course, as much as possible. And if they do leave, that's part of life. And we even tell them that we know that they might leave and we'd rather know it. So I could do another podcast on that. But anyway, this is not the subject today. So why am I teaching simple PR, simplified PR, and why PR is simple, my friends? Because I know I'm teaching it to employees who have never done it before, and I can quickly bring them up to speed to generate results. And how do we do that? And so all this to say, actually, why am I talking about recruitment is because, of course, I'm taking advantage of it. And what I'm teaching my employees became the basis of the NATA PR school, where you can subscribe and work with me, of course. And this is where I teach you media relations simplified, public relations, PR simplified. Yes. And the first thing we do with our young hires is first we show them a complete activity report, like a final report that we've presented to a client. Sometimes it could be a 12-month mandate because it's bigger and it's easier to understand. And this often, let's say we generated 500 interviews, mentions. We had influencers talking about it, 500 different articles and mentions for a client. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, we teach them what we did. So what did we do to get those results? Maybe we sent out 9 different press releases with, 5 big product launches in the year. We did virtual presentations, one-on-one interviews, etc. So we show them and teach them this. And this, we tell them, this is where we're going to need your help. This is what we're going to start doing. And step 3, this is what I call to bring them to the front or the center stage to draft what? Of course, an initial mail, a pitch, right? How we present products, what do you put in your email? And this is really like center stage to me. Like this is what I call going to war a little bit, is sending emails. Because very often, not very often, all the time when they come out of school, they've never sent an email to a journalist or an influencer, and they don't know how to do it, where to start. So we teach them the basic of the pitch, the email, how we do it, how we can make it so simple and easy. It's 3 steps. And you send it out and you'll have some reactions, right? So at this point, they have 50% of the job done, really. And the step number 4 would be to use our model and go through it. And look at step number 3 in our model, and it says identify the real influencers. Doesn't mean that they are unreal and real. It's what are the good contact, the good influencer, the good journalist, the good influencer who would respond positively to what you're going to be sending out. So this is our model. And of course, if you don't have it, it's down there, my friend. Download, click on the link. I'm giving it to you for free. 6-step to create a successful PR public relation campaign or a social media campaign. So easy. So step number 3, we're there. And as I say all the time, you can start with as little as 3 contacts, sometimes even just one good one. Let's say it's someone in your city that writes about fashion. So get in touch with that person if you're launching a new bathing suit collection. It's made locally and you've created something, I don't know, it's made, you still have seamstress around and you created something different, get in touch with them because they won't find you. They don't have the time to look around. So voila. Of course, at the agency, like any other good PR agency, we have powerful tools to do media researches, to find those contacts. But know that just like you, we use Google all the time because not everything is in the database that we rent or buy. And it's changing so fast. Plus, everybody's working with freelancers, and very often they're not even in that database. So you could just work with Google, don't have any other tool. Yes, it's possible. And as I say, reaching out to 3 journalist influencers who really, and you've done your researches, you know that they do write about they write about beauty, fashion, or, motorsport or automotive. Then, they've written recently about it. So what you send them should interest them. And this is huge, just knowing that. Why? Because according to Cisions, that's a huge company, Cision, Cision. They own database and Newswire. So I don't want to go into that, but they have this annual State of the Media report that I love. And the number one complaint of journalists is this one, my friend. They complain about receiving tons of emails that are not for them. Let's say they write about automotive and then they receive something about gardening, beauty, fashion. It's not for them. And they say that about 25% and less is really something they could use and that's dedicated to them. And about, the business sectors they write about. So listen to this. How you raise your chances to catch their attention, grab their attention if you are sending the right, interesting information to the right influencers. But will you get more from them if the information you're sending them is related to the topics they cover? Of course. Yes. Voila. So now it's your turn to include Simplified PR. See, I just told you the steps. What is the end result? The step you're going to use to do that, you have to create a pitch and then, find simple, a short number of contacts just to begin with. So voila. And if you enroll in our program at the NATA PR School, I will teaching you all that. I'll tell you exactly what to do step by step. And so get on our list if you're not. And hopefully I'll see you in class, my friends. And I hope this little PR break was useful for you and that you'll be joining me next week. À la semaine prochaine. Hey, you want to learn more about how to implement PR strategies? Head on to natapr.com and get on our list. You will also receive the NATA PR model on how to create a successful PR campaign. If you want to become a client, just send us an email to nata@natapr.com. Talk to you next week. À la semaine prochaine.